I think I understand where you're going with this. So the ascension programming, the fifth dimension programming, you know, all of that. Yes, I completely, wholeheartedly agree with that. I can see that trap right there, and people are just being herded like cattle into these little pens. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. So they know the algorithm now is like, now people are really trying to free themselves for real through like sovereignty movements, people like us having these conversations. So they're gathering up, like creating boxes as we speak to kind of still capture us somehow. But once you know that once it clicks inside of you that there's an outside of program aspect, you're literally sovereign. Like that's the breaker right there. It's like, just know inside that is your truth. It is done. You are unbinded to this construct. You might be enemy number one within the astral planes. That's a whole other thing, but you can fix that because you're sovereign. You are powerful. You're stepping into your power. No one can really touch you without your permission. So that's like to me, that's the next level of work, because what's happening right now is astral wars on consciousness, literally attacking people in their dreams, their sleeps, literally like swiping consciousness. And it's not to put people in fear states. These are actually technologies that are being used on people who don't know that there's another level to this whole construct that they're affected by. And to override that is to demand and command and sit in your authority in who you are, literally. Even before you go to bed, just simply like hold on to your consciousness. Before I go to sleep, I say my mind, my body, my soul, my sovereignty. My consciousness remains outside of space and time. I am untouchable. I am all knowing and all seeing. And like, you can't touch me.
I love that. And I have found that in my experiences as things evolved and progressed, knowing my own power within my own experiences, it seems like these other things that are out there that I hear other people talking about, they don't come into my sphere. It's almost like they're like, oh, well, he knows who he is, so we're not even going to bother messing with him. We're going to go mess with somebody else. I mean, we even had gray encounters for quite some time, and I call them dreams just because it's like a dream state when we encounter these things. The last one that I had, they were standing outside trying to get me to voluntarily go outside to them. They couldn't come into my sphere, and I think I reached a point of knowing. I mean, it's one thing to know who you are. It's another thing to know who you are, like really, truly know it. Like you can know of who you are, but until you know who you are, you don't have that power. So it was amazing to put into practice, but I don't know. It's I look around at the world and I wonder how many people can achieve that. I mean, we want to help as many people as possible, but at the same time, so many people are being led in so many different directions, and it breaks my heart to see people being led into these little traps. But I guess that's the way the game is being played, though. I've gotten an intuition about a final harvest, though, that this is it right now, the last harvest that they've been waiting for. What do you think about that?
As I was saying before, because they're, like you said, they feed off of fear and all kinds of emotions, which is kind of like, you know, that's like fast food, you know, but this is like the feast. And the feast is feeding off of activated DNA. That's different from, oh, let's make them angry and fearful and let's eat that. And let's make them so loving and let's eat that. No, but let's let them get activated. Let's eat that, because that right there is that's the prime rib for whatever they use this essence for. And on top of that, it's the last harvest, because once they harvest on those who are indeed activated and lit up on the inside, but not quite to the point where they know who they are, once they feed off of that, you are done. Your consciousness is gone. You are now an NPC. You are now a part of the program. And I think that's the last harvest, is people who organic consciousness within this construct. This is kind of like that last loop of like stand in who you are, and hold on really, really tightly, and stand strong in who you are, because you are enemy of the freaking state by being so lit up on the inside. You don't even realize it. You're so bright right now on that level. They see you. They know exactly who you are. So, of course, like, there will be different. It's a huge feeding because of the activation aspect of what it is what I'm trying to say. It's like activated DNA tastes different, or it gives them a different power.
Yeah.
Versus regular emotional stuff.
Well, the whole adrenochrome thing that I hear about, I can't really substantiate that with any kind of physical evidence, but when you talk about it on an ethereal realm, that's what it seems like they're harvesting, the equivalent of what people would call adrenochrome here. That's what they're harvesting from our soul, and that's kind of wipes us out at this point. I felt like this is our last time here. This is our last try to do whatever it is we came to do. Hearing somebody else say it, though, is a very, very, very sobering thing, which I think is even that much more reason for people to take the power from within themselves, go on their own journeys, and reach down inside of themselves and find out who they are. I wish that I could take people with me and go, come on, let's go. Here, I'm going to take you on this ship and we're all going to get out of here. But it's an each man for himself situation. It doesn't mean that we can't work together to get out. But once we get to that barrier, you've got to walk through that barrier yourself. Nobody can take you there. Bluebirds can't take you there. Palladians can't take you there. I can't take you there. Jesus can't take you there. Only you can. And that's, I think, what we're trying to help people do.
Absolutely. I agree 100%. And this is why we have these conversations. Hopefully there's a resonance of some sort. I think the main message here, whether you know the story or not, is know who you are and like sit in it and claim it and be it. People are like, well, how do you do that? It's all with resonance. It has to resonate. You have to resonate with yourself.
Well said. Mrs. Geo, anything you want to chime in on?
Definitely. I mean, I think, wrapping it up now, that is the bottom line here, is that if you stand in your own power, not only do you scare the living crap out of these beings, whatever they are, you're also outside of the, I think the reason why we were able to see the construct for what it was way back during that solar eclipse in 2017 was because we were outside of the checkerboard. I think we had somebody on the show once who said you have to stand outside of the checkerboard and look into it. You can't be on the checkerboard because then you're playing the game and then they can attack you. They can go after you. They can mess with you. If you're outside of that looking in, they can't touch you and you can see it for what it actually is. And that's standing in your own power. That's realizing who and what you are. And that's grabbing that and holding on to it. And they can't touch you at that point. They can't even mess with you at that point because you are so much more powerful than they are.